Okay, Word Chapter 2A. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at creating a resume using a table. So let's go ahead and start Word. And let's go ahead and start a blank document. And let's go ahead and save that document. So let's go to File. We're going to hit Save As. And we're going to go to Browse. And we're going to look for our documents. And I'm going to go down to the Homework folder I created in the last lesson. And I'm going to create a new folder called Word Chapter 2, and I'm going to go ahead and double click that guy, and I'm going to save this document as Shodel Daniel to a resume. Okay, and go ahead and save. Alright, and let's go ahead and add a footer. So let's go to Insert, and let's go to Footer, and let's go to Edit Footer. And we're going to go over here to Quick Parts, Field, and File Name. I'll do that again for the. We'll go to from here. We go to Quick Parts, Field, and we're going to File Name, and click OK. And there's our file name. When we're finished, go ahead and close header and footer. All right. Next, let's go ahead and insert a table. And to do that, you go to the Insert tab, and we go to Tables, and you can see that if you put your cursor over top of the table, we get a live preview of what it looks like. Now, we ultimately want to choose 2x4, okay, and that's our 2x4 table. All right. Each of these little things are called cells. When we get in Excel, we'll talk about the concept of a cell, but these are called cells. And you can move through the tab by hitting the Tab key or the Shift Tab key. The Tab key moves you forward. The Shift Tab key moves you backwards. You also should notice, by the way, we have two new tabs, the Table Tools tab with the Design tab and the Layout tab, of which both of those we will look at throughout the lesson. Okay, page 182. We're in the first cell. Let's go ahead and type in the word objective. And then we're going to tab over, and we're going to go ahead and type in technology, writing, and editing using position, in the robotics field, robotics industry, industry, using research and advanced editing skills to communicate with customers. Okay, and then we're going to tab down. We're going to type in summary of qualifications, and then we're going to tab over 2 years experience in the robotics lab for aerospace instruction team. Okay, and enter. Proficiency using Microsoft Office. Proficiency using page layout and design software. It looks like I misspelled proficiency. And finally, fluency in spoken and written Spanish. Okay, tab down. Let's type in experience. And tab over. Instructional lab assistant. Florida Port Community College, St. Petersburg, Florida, July 2013 to present. Okay. Assist robotics professor with sophisticated experiments. And finally, set up robotics practice sessions for aerospace instruction team. Okay. Next part of the lesson is we're going to insert some text from the files we pulled down previously. So what you want to do is go to the Insert tab, go to the Object, the arrow, select Text from File, and we're going to go to where I downloaded those earlier, which is under Documents, under my Hack folder. We're going to go to Word 2013, Chapter 2, Student Data Files, and we're going to go ahead and grab Experience, and we're going to go ahead and hit Insert. All right, that'll go ahead and fills in a bunch of information for us. All right, we're going to hit backspace one time to remove the extra line, and we're going to hit the Tab key, and we're going to type in honors and activities. And then we're going to tab over and type in elected to high tau sigma honor society for mechanical engineers. Enter. Qualified for Dean's List 6 semesters. And finally, student mentor help other students in engineering programs. Okay, so let's go up and save what we've worked on so far. All right, and let's turn over to page 184, creating bulleted lists in a table. Okay, let's go up to our list of summary of qualifications. Go ahead and select the text here, and let's go to the Home tab. And in the paragraph group, go ahead and select the bullets. All right, now you can see how it's indented here. We want to decrease the indent. In the paragraph group, we can go ahead here and select the decrease indent. Okay, and that's how you decrease. That's one way of decreasing the indent. All right, next part of the lesson we'll be looking at something called the Format Painter, which is we're going to talk about over on page 185. You can find that Format Painter on your Home tab under Home, right under the Clipboard group. Go ahead and double click that, and now also your cursor becomes, a little paintbrush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to my next section here. Under each of these sections, I want to go ahead and select the different informations under the positions. So I would go here, And out we go. I almost done it one time. Okay, if you do it one time, it's a one-time shot. If you do it twice, it stays there until you click escape. So I must have done it one time when I did it. Okay, and then we go down to the bottom and do these guys here. Finally, so. Okay, when I finish with that, I go ahead and hit the escape key button on my keyboard, and that finishes that. Okay. All right, the next part of the lesson, which is over on page 185, we're going to talk about how to change the width. As you can see here, you can see the width is not quite correct. What we're going to do is put our cursor right here in the middle. Your cursor becomes like that, the line with the two arrows. Now we can manually move it like so. That's one way of doing it. We can manually move it. It says to move to the 1.5 line. We can go up to the design, the layout tab, or we can choose. Click on this cell specifically and make the width 1.4, or we can go to the auto fit and hit auto fit window. These are just different ways of making everything, of changing, adjusting the size. It's kind of a preference thing, however you would like to do that. Okay, the next part of the lesson over on page 186 talks about using the one-click row column insertion to modify the table dimensions. Basically what we want to do is we want to put a row between this area and between this area. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your cursor right here, click down on the line here. See how this arrow pops here? If I click on this arrow, all of a sudden now a new row appears. You also, by the way, if it's a little simpler, sometimes you can go up here and use these options as well. It's kind of a personal preference, however you like to do it. So let's go ahead and type in education. And let's go ahead and tab over. And we'll type in University of South Florida, Tampa, Florida. Go ahead and enter. Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering, June of 2015, and let's go ahead and enter. And we're typing Florida Port Community College. Again, St. Petersburg, Florida. And we're going to hit enter. Associates of Arts, Journalism, June of 2013. Okay. And then we're going to save. Okay. Page 187, merging cells. What do we do? We want to put a cell here at the top, a row at the top. As I mentioned earlier, there are other ways to do it than the way we showed you previously. So put your cursor in either of these two cells here. Go up to the Table Tools Layout tab and click Insert Above. We create a new row above here. Now, we have the row selected. If you didn't have it selected, all you have to do is put your cursor to the left, select the row, and in the same Table Tools Layout tab, go to Merge Cells to create one big cell all the way at the top. Okay, you can see that there is now one table there's one table in here. Okay, page 187, setting tab stops in a table, which really isn't any different than setting a tab stop in your into a regular Word document. So let's go up here and change the tab stop to right. Okay. Oh, okay. And come up here to of the 6.5-inch mark. I'm going to have to push this out just a little bit. And up on here, go ahead and select the mark there to create the 6.5-inch mark. Okay. Then come down to here and type in Josh Hayes, and then we're going to hit Control Tab, because if you hit Tab, Tab will just move you down to the next line. So we hit Control Tab. We're going to type in the phone number of 727 555 0313, and then we're going to hit Enter. We're going to type in 1541 Dearborn Lane, St. Petersburg, FL 33713, and again we're going to hit Control Tab, tab us over. We're going to type in his email address of jhayes and at alcona.net. Okay, you can see you can compare what we have. All right. Okay, page 188, modifying fonts in a table and using the space after. Let's go ahead and grab Mr. Hayes' name. So go ahead and select Josh Hayes. Okay, we're going to go up to the Home tab, which actually, you could have also used the mini toolbar that pops up as well. We haven't really talked about the mini toolbar much here, but this pops up here. I can actually change it here if I like. I can go all the way to 18. I think that's what it has been set to. 16, sorry. You can actually use the mini toolbar as well. Okay. All right. So go ahead. Next part of the lesson we're going to talk about is using the before and after. If you look at the final document, if you turn back over to page 180, you look at the final document, you can see everything is spaced. And that's what this next part of the lesson is looking at, is using the spacing. Okay, so what I want you to do is put your cursor in the second line, which is down here anywhere. Go up to the paragraph dialog box and change the after to 18 point. You can see it says 18 point, and hit OK. And hit OK. You can see we created a little bit of space. All right, and as the book says, we're going to use the same technique for each of these lines. So we go into here, and we could go to here, boom, and then again, we're just creating a little bit of space. All right, here. All right, and the last one, here we go, 18 point. Okay, let's go ahead and grab each of the headings here. Let's go ahead and grab objective, and we're going to bold it. And we're going to bold this guy here. So basically we want to bold each of these headings here. Okay. Okay. We're also going to grab each of the positions, and we're going to bold those guys. We're also going to grab the names of the colleges that we worked at. Well, this person worked at, I should say. And we're going to bold those. Okay. We also want to get a little bit of space here as well. So what we'll do is put your cursor here and go to paragraph. And we're going to set it for 12 points. So again, we're going to set a little bit of space here between each of the positions here as well. Okay, do the same thing here. The way I see this is actually just better than actually hitting the enter key. I know a lot of times we have the desire just to hit enter key and to fix it. But this just gives you a little more granular. You can see we have the ability to create some spaces bigger than other spaces. And then let's go ahead and save what we have. All right, moving along to page 189. Let's go ahead and go up to our layout box. And let's go to select and select table. And then we're going to go to the design tab and we're going to hit the border styles. Oh, sorry, we're going to go to, well, there's a couple different places you can go to. The design tab and go to page, go to border. You can actually go to borders here because you can also check select borders as well here. And we're going to go ahead and hit none. That removes it as well. Okay. But we also want to put a line, if you look at the original, we want to put a line at the top here as well. So what we want you to do is come down to the thin line here, and we're going to change the width. Basically put a line right here on the top. Okay. Right here on the top. Okay. We can change it to a single set line. Oh, like that. And then we're going to hit OK. All right. We also need to put a space here as well. So please come here to Josh Hayes, and we need to give it a space here as well. By coming up here back to the Home tab, and come back to here and choosing the before, setting the before to 18 point. All right, and that is our resume. Okay, if we go to our home, the file, the backstage view, and the print preview, you can see this is what our document looks like. Okay, this is our document. Oh, I did forget one thing. Let's go back to here, back to layout, select table. And again, there are multiple ways of doing these things. I kind of tend to do it the way I'm more comfortable with. There are a lot of different ways of doing the same thing. Let's go ahead and change this to a double line like such, and we're going to apply that at the bottom and hit OK. All right. Now if we go back to the file and go back to our print, you can see that is the way it looks. All right. All right, let's go ahead and save that. Okay, the final part of the lesson is we'll be actually preparing our document to be able to view online. As the book says, it's good for online presentations, a number of other things. We'll create a link that we can actually copy out there. So to do it's actually pretty simple. You go to your file, and which brings you to the backstage view. Go to share, and then we're going to hit present online, and then we're going to hit present online again. We're going to wait a moment depending upon how fast or slow your online presentation is. I will let you know this has nothing to do with what you're turning in for your assignment, but this is something you should just know how to do for preparing presentation. Okay, it takes a moment to do this. Okay. Again, this really has to do with how fast your presentation, your online connection is. All right. At this point here, you have a link that you can actually give to remote viewers. You can copy the link, send an email, and then you hit start presentation. Okay, and this basically puts you in an online mode. This is the online view. When you're done, go ahead and hit end presentation. It's going to hit end online presentation, and of course, go ahead and change your view back to the normal view. You can, okay, you can do. All right. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our info tab. We're going to go to properties, show document panels, and we're going to fill in this is the information again that makes your document searchable. Under subject, we're going to type in resume. And we're going to type in word table.